Alright, so let's talk about texting and the various rules that need to be followed. Typically, I'd say texting has certain rules that must be followed, but right now, a lot of people are, practicing social distancing, so the rules are a little bit different. So typically, I would say when you're texting, if you're constantly initiating a conversation, you should just move on. The other person is just showing that they have no real interest. If you're initiating 100% of the time, even 90% of the time, 85% of the time, I'd say move on. If you're getting short answers like they're saying yes, no, okay, all right, then it's not working out. Like you got to move on from that. And same goes if in this time that we have around coronavirus. I'd see any changes with that. There is definitely no changes. Somebody is really not interested. They're just really not interested. If it was in person, they'd even show with their body language, turning away from you, not facing you, not looking you in the eye, not smiling. The works. So rule number two: setting up a date through text or online apps. So typically, what I would say is set up a date as soon as possible. So you maybe meet somebody in Hinge, Tinder, POF, whatever it is. Set up a date right away. Don't keep messaging, texting, or if you meet them on the app, like again Hinge or Tinder, you might transfer to like WhatsApp or Kick or text. Well, yeah, message them here and there. Try and set up an offline meet as soon as possible, but don't keep messaging. The reason for that is when you keep messaging, you remove mystery where you don't have much to say after when you meet in person, as well as you might say something the other person doesn't like or they misconstrue because a lot of interaction between human beings, it's not only the words you say, but how you say it and how your body language is. So you might say one thing and the person might misinterpret it for something else. They get upset and then that's it. The discussion, conversation, the would be relationship, it's just over. I'd say with this, you can still maybe talk for an extended period of time, but especially when we're all in quarantine, it's coronavirus right now. But watch out for somebody initiating a conversation with you at least half the time, maybe 40% of the time, 60% of the time. I might even go as low as maybe 30% of the time, but just try and have them initiate a conversation as much as you are trying to initiate a conversation, as well as they're talking. They're not giving you one or two word answers. They're asking you questions. They're talking about their day. They're talking about what's going on in their life. You're talking about what's going on in your life, etc., etc., etc. So that's what should be done. The next thing would be if you're messaging back right away under normal circumstances, that would be bad because that just shows you have nothing better to do. You aren't really pursuing any skills or goals that would take up your time. And that just shows typically you are of low value. Now, that is different because a lot of people are laid off, on furlough, or just don't have a job anymore. 35% of America is unemployed from the figure that I saw a few days ago. That's incredible. In the Depression, it was about 28, 29%, something around there. So it's incredible that, a virus like Corona can just displace jobs so quickly and fiercely, and literally nobody saw it coming. So with this rule can be relaxed a bit because a lot of people are off. It's understood that you're off. You don't have a job. You're bored. You're watching Netflix. You're watching Prime Video. You're watching Disney. Whatever you're doing, just don't take it too far, too much, where you're being overbearing. Being overbearing, being too much, is a bad thing in anybody's book. So keep it cool, keep it relaxed, and yeah, just take it slow. Another rule is online, dating and apps. It's filled with a lot of guys messaging, a few women. So women will get 100 messages per day, sometimes 200 messages per day. She's typically not going to be looking through the messages, not going to be reading your profile. The main thing she's going to do is just look at your pictures. If you fit within her concept of somebody she'll date, or the box of who she'll date, then yeah, she'll message you back, maybe. But she's gonna, pick the top of the top of the top. So this is where your picture game comes in. You gotta have really nice pictures. You'll see a difference if you're using regular pictures right now. If you get, professional or semi-pro pictures up, you will see a stark difference in the amount of messages you get back from women that you find attractive that are now replying back to you. So get your picture game up. That's another thing. Especially now, since you have the time, you can maybe get photos done, a friend or buddy, whoever can take photos of you, or you can try and do them yourself. I know a lot of businesses are closed, or, we're practicing a lot of social distancing right now. It can be hard, but just try and get your picture game up. Overall, what I say is follow these rules still, even though, we're practicing social distancing. The only rule that can really be bent is the one where you can talk by text or WhatsApp or Kik or, Facebook Messenger, or whatever you're doing for a more extended period of time, but still keep some mystery about you, keep some details about you, so that when we do come out of social distancing, there's actually something new that could be said, or something interesting that could be said. You don't want to be a boring person the first time you meet up with anyone. Other than that, keep it cool, relaxed, and keep texting.